So, yeah. So good evening to each and every one of you. Yeah, welcome all. I welcome all who are joining from YouTube. And so I hope that you all had a happy 4th of July. Right? It's important to celebrate the independence. And but we also have to think about how we can really be independent. And if you don't want to be a victim to outer environment and to be independent in real sense, you really have to learn meditation. Otherwise, we'll be conditioned or maybe even controlled by people around us and conditions around us, and we will always reflect what is in front of us, what is surrounding us. But we can develop our ability to move through them and not being affected by what is around us, and that's the real independence. So yeah. Yes, and we also Bante Kamalasari is he just arrived in the US in last October. He hasn't seen fireworks, so so yesterday we tried to find a place to watch fireworks, after some search, I realized that there's a place called Fine View Lookout. So we managed to find that place, but we were a little late, right? By the time we find the place. And so we were also concerned about, because it's a small neighborhood, how people will, see us. So one person actually, when they see us, oh, there are monks. You are really nice people. That relieve all the concerns. And then, when we walk in, the hill, suddenly we hear the word, right? When someone is shouting, Bante, and Bante, and Bante. And we thought, who knows our names, Bantes? And then we realized that actually there was one person who's coming to our meditation on Wednesdays, they have also come there. So we had a nice, Bante was taking photos and had some experience of the fireworks. So next time we had to go early. Yes. Okay. Actually, so July 4th is the important day here. July 6th is actually is the birthday of a very prominent Buddhist teacher, Dalai Lama. Yes. July 6th is his birthday. I think in the email you got the quote from Dalai Lama. So I think it's a good day for us to just take some time to think about some of his teachings. So I got some quotes from him, and we can read and reflect. Those who may not be very familiar with him, his 87th birthday is tomorrow. This is still very active, and he's actually the spiritual leader for Tibet, and he was also a political leader until 1959. And when the Chinese, occupied the Tibet, and they were going to arrest him because he's the political leader, but somehow they were able to escape from Tibet before they arrest him. And so they through Nepal, traveling all the mountains, they came to India, and so many Tibetan people escaped Tibet and came to India, and India gave them places to stay, like as get called the refugee or called in exile. So there are a lot of Tibetan settlements in India, and it's a huge, so many Tibetan people have different, villages and places. So since 1959, Dalai Lama is living in India. And he's not living in Tibet. He has never been to Tibet, after 1959. And so, but that kind of, living in exile gave him the opportunity to focus more on his spiritual role than the political role. Yeah. Some may even say that he's not very successful as a political leader because he he didn't use aggressive methods. He still believed that someday Chinese government will come to an agreement and give them some independence, some autonomy. He still believes that. So he's always using non-aggressive ways, and he never encouraged any form of fightings or any form of confrontations. But he tried many ways. He tried many ways. I think therefore in 1989 he received a Nobel Peace Prize, a Nobel Peace Prize, for promoting non-violent ways of negotiating and try to find some political solution. But as a spiritual leader, and he was very successful in spreading the message of peace and compassion. And he's, of course, some years ago, U.S. Congress offered him a congressional gold medal for being, good, global citizen. and Canada offered him an honorary citizenship. But he lived in India in exile among his communities. And one contribution he made was actually he was very interested in science. Since his childhood, so in Tibet, you have this tradition that once an important teacher passed away, you will look for his reincarnation, and they have their own techniques to do it. That's only exists in Tibet, not in other Buddhist countries. So they look for the next birth of the teacher. So this current Dalai Lama is the 14th Dalai Lama, which means they believe there is the 14th reincarnation. And so he was recognized when he was 2 years old, and at the age of 4 he was brought back as a little baby to Lhasa, the capital city. At the age of 6, he was ordained as a Buddhist monk, and he was trained to be the leader. So that is very common in Tibetan tradition. Even in other monasteries, when there's a prominent teacher passed away, they will look for the reincarnation. They will bring the baby back, and he will. All the students will learn from him. Will teach him back what they learned, and so that's the tradition in Tibet. So anyway, so he always said that I became a Dalai Lama not on voluntary choice. Yeah, but he said that if he was not selected as a Dalai Lama, and he would be happy to do engineering. That is his inclination. Even now, one of his hobbies is actually repairing watches. And so because of his inclination for science, he encouraged to do studies or research on Buddhism and science, and he kind of promoted that. So because of his patronage, there are so many research is done, about effects of meditation on human brain, and how spiritual practices can make a real impact on our brains and our bodies, in our way of thinking. So I think in Massachusetts, they have institute called Mind and Life Institute, which is completely dedicated to research on Buddhist practices, the interface between science and Buddhism, and he promote this a lot. And so, but he always remains as a very simple monk. He always has a lot of humor in him. So let's read some of his quotes, and then we can think about it. And one quote: "Our prime purpose in this life is to help others. If you can't help others, at least don't hurt them." So very practical, right? Yeah. So I think primary purpose in life, because it may sound like we kind of dedicate ourselves just to take care of others, but actually, if we are always try to be helpful and kind to others, it also increases our own happiness too. So ultimately, dichotomy between helping others and helping oneself dissolves. So if when you make effort to be helpful, be kind to others, it naturally increases our own level of happiness too. So anyway, but our focus should be, try to be helpful and kind to others. And the next one, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Love and compassion. I think this is very real, right? Because we will not be able to survive, as a society, as a human being, as a civilization, if we don't have this, love and compassion. And it is not highlighted very much, but this love and compassion is practiced on the radar among all of us. But unfortunately, those things do not come to news. And therefore, what comes to news is not what helps us to survive, but what comes to news is the what is not ordinary. So when we see news, we get this image that the society is so bad, everything is declining, get a real negative bad picture. But in many societies, the neighbors help each other. I mean, communities live in harmony, and love and compassion enable us to survive. And it is happening all over, But so it's not luxury. It's not like if we wish we can be kind. It is necessities, and to that extent, we can survive. And we have survived so far. Maybe we just need a little bit more, right? So that is why we practice loving kindness and meditation. Right? Yeah. And the next one, I like it. Be kind whenever possible, and it is always possible. Is it really true? Bhante, what do you think? Be kind whenever possible, and it is always possible.
We cannot ignore. We have to do it every day and every moment we can develop.
Have to do it, right? Yeah. But there are challenging times right? Challenging times to be kind sometimes, right? But it will be easier for us to be kind if we can distinguish that being kind and also agreeing and approving others. Being kind to someone doesn't mean that we approve what they are doing. Even when we do our loving kindness meditation, we direct our loving kindness to all people. Doesn't matter, who they are. All people. That doesn't mean that we all approve what they do. Doesn't mean that we will, in agreement. We can completely disagree. We can disapprove what they are doing, what they are, their behavior, whatever. But it's beside the point. We still can wish them well-being, right? We can still, be kind to them.
So we can develop ourselves not to do bad things, because we trust in ourselves, not to
others. Yeah. So we focus on our own mind. Yeah, not to So maybe if we want others to change, maybe we have to test it with ourselves. Can I really remain kind even in challenging situation? If that is possible, then I can teach others to do so, right? I can expect others to do so too, right? If I cannot remain kind in certain times, you have to give permission to others also to be unkind in sometimes, right? So I think when he said that be kind whenever possible, and it is always possible, what he means is that it's not really that we will agree with everyone, but we can disagree, but still be kind. So that kind of opens the possibility to be kind to others, even though we don't agree with what they do. My religion is very simple. I think this is the quote you got, right? My religion is very simple, and it is kindness. And there's no need for temples, no need for complicated philosophy. Our own brain, our own heart is our temple, and our philosophy is kindness. So he's a prominent, he's a key Buddhist leader, and teacher, but he said my religion is my religion is kindness. Then when Buddhists will ask him, then what about Buddhism? But but he tried to be so. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. And if you want yourself to be happy, practice compassion. So I think the same thing as he said earlier, I think. So if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. So we show you empathy, show you, you think about them, and show you empathy for their suffering, their pains, and that will make them happy. And if you want yourself to be happy, again, practice compassion. Because when we become when we empathize others' suffering and pain, you don't suffer, but you get the kind of noble, wholesome state of the mind. The kind of embrace that. You contain that suffering, but wishing that suffering to end, and do whatever you can do to end that. So our mind becomes so spacious that we can contain the pain and suffering of others. And that is not suffering, that is compassion. So when you have empathy for others' suffering, and you relieve their suffering, but at the same time you also, develop a noble mindset that is not suffering. Because most of the time suffering comes when you are too much focused on oneself. Okay, the next one. In the practice of tolerance, one's enemy is the best teacher. Yeah, one's enemy is the best teacher. Right? The best teacher can test us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they can do a lot of tests. Enemy is your best teacher. How an enemy can be a best teacher?
That's when we really got to get ourselves together.
Hmm?
That's when we have to work the hardest to be the best. It's easy when things are all happening.
Yeah.
You
So they allows you to evaluate yourself. It also gives you opportunity to practice, right? And last time, previous weeks, we talked about the Buddhist teacher's quote, Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh's quote, like, "No mud, no lotus." Right? So, so we need some opportunities to grow. Yeah. So in the practice of tolerance, one's enemy is the best teacher. It can he can give you more opportunity for us to It's like if you want to polish ourselves, it's just like when a gem needs to be polished, it has to be cut. Cutting is not a pleasant process, But once you cut, and then it is polished. But the whole process is not that pleasant. So the enemy may be difficult people. Let's say difficult people. We don't really have enemies in real sense. Maybe difficult people we are like cutters, right? And it helps us to polish ourselves if we use them properly. And then he said that I am sometimes sad when I hear the personal stories of Tibetan refugees who have been tortured or beaten. Some irritation, some anger comes, but it never lasts long. I always try to think at a deeper level to find ways to console. I think when you see Dalai Lama, he's always have this nice smile, nice demeanor in his face. But think about as a leader of people who are always oppressed, always mistreated, and he should have to have such a big mind to carry all these burdens, and then at the same time maintain his goodness. So he's admitted that he feels sad and angry, but they don't stay long. And I always try to think at a deeper level and find ways to console. And then again, he said, I always say that people should not rush to change religions. There's real value in finding the spiritual resources you need in your home religion. When you use the term home religion, I always say that people should not rush to change religions. There's real value in finding the spiritual resources you need in your home religion. He's not a good missionary. Right? He doesn't want to be. Yeah, that is not his purpose. He's always encouraged people to find resources in their home religion. The last one. Today, more than ever before, life must be characterized by a sense of universal responsibility. Not only nation to nation, human to human, but also human to other forms of life. Universal responsibility is a very big theme in his talks. Universal responsibility. That we all have to assume a universal responsibility as an individual person, as a community, as society. We all have a universal responsibility to each other, not only to human beings, but also to other forms of life. So I think, focusing more on the responsibility can give us a different perspective to look at our lives, because we always talk about rights, which is important. We need to recognize others' rights. We need to protect our rights too, because some people, some social structures can exploit, can prevent others' rights. So we have to pay attention to that also. But at the same time, we also have to pay attention to responsibilities. We not only have rights, we also have responsibilities. So we receive rights, but then we have responsibilities to others. Right? So universal responsibility. That's his thing. Okay, let us wish him a happy birthday and a long life, and may he continue to inspire so many others with his compassion and to hold. There was a nice documentary and also a nice book called book written by him and Cardinal Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu is a cardinal or is a bishop, right? Bishop Desmond Tutu, and that's a really nice book. Both of them are so humorous, and it's called "A Joy of some joy or something." So maybe you can look for that. That will be really nice read for you. How both of them, and joke each other at the same time, give very valuable lessons to our current generation. Okay. So with that, let us start our practice. So we will stand. So we will do some movements to help ourselves to bring more awareness to our body. Because in meditation, it's really important that we feel our body, we come to our body, because this is the anchor for us to stay in the present moment. So try to spread your feet a little bit apart, and then try to feel the weight of your body in both feet. Try to distribute your weight somewhat evenly to your both feet. And feel the touch sensation you can feel in your feet. You may have more touch sensation in your heels. Feel that pressed muscles in the heels. And then slowly move to the front part of the feet and try to see how much you can feel in that area. When you feel any of your toes. With this awareness of the feet, let us now do some movements in our body in coordination with our breath. So you can open your eyes and then breathing in, raise your hands both to the front. Breathing out, spread them to the side. Breathe in, move them up. Breathe out, gently come down. Okay. Breathe in to the front. Breathe out to the side. Breathe in, up. Breathe out, gently coming down. Breathe in to the front. Breathe out to the side. Breathe in, up. Breathe out, gently coming down. Take a moment to feel new subtle sensations arising in your palms, in your arms as a result of that movement. Some tingling sensations, pulsations. Just feel them and use them to be in your body. Let us be here right now in our body. Let's do another movement. This time we raise our right hand. Breathe in, place your right hand over the heart. Breathe out, bend your upper body to the left. Bending and releasing there. Breathe in, come to the middle. Breathe out, go back again, give a nice bend, release the air, feel the stretch. Breathe in, come to the middle. Breathe out, go back again. Breathe in to the middle. Breathe out, go back again. Breathe in to the middle. Breathe out, gently bring your palm down. Let them feel. Let's do the same to our left hand. Breathe in, place your left arm all the way up. Breathe out, bend the body, release the air, feel the stretch. Breathe into the middle. Breathe out to the side. Breathe into the middle. Breathe out to the side. Breathe into the middle. Breathe out to the side. Breathe into the middle. This time when you breathe out, you will gently bring your palms down, slowly, with full awareness of the palms and the fingers. Now let us take a moment to observe whatever sensation arising in your upper body, perhaps in your rib areas. You may have some residual sensations of that stretch. Feel it. And feel all around your arms. Wherever you have subtle sensations, just feel them and be in your body. Fully acknowledge that I'm standing firmly right here with all these sensations arising in the body. I'm here and now in my body, nowhere else but here and now in the body. This is a nice place to be. With this awareness of the body, we will now slowly walk back to our chairs and we will slowly sit down. Maintain this awareness of the body even when you move, even when you sit down. Adjust your body in your seat. Make sure that your both sit bones are touching the chair and your upper body is upright. If you can, clear the inner arch of your lower back and open your chest, but don't have tight shoulders. Simply relax shoulders and let them drop to the sides, but maintain an open chest and keep your chin somewhat parallel with the earth. Keeping chin a little bit up can help you to stay alert throughout the session. And rest your palms on your lap. In this nice balanced posture, let us listen to the sound of the bell and the chant. This bell sound and the chant will help you to gather your attention and then settle yourself into this moment. Throughout the bell and the chant, stay aware of your body, posture of your body.
සංසාර සාරෝග විනීත නිසං සංනීත සාතං Sucisaradhisam Sandhirakang Sonna Tanupelasam Sallapadesin Paname Bhisasan
Let everything settle down in this calm moment. We will let this body to relax. all the muscles to relax. Without our knowing, we may have some tight muscles in our belly, in our shoulders, or any other parts of the body. We will invite our body to completely relax and loosen up. We are sitting in a very safe and friendly place. So we can let go of all the concerns and allow our body to completely relax. We can use our breath to loosen up our muscles. We can just lengthen our breath a little bit. And when you breathe out, do it slowly and allow the chest to drop, to belly to drop and relax. Do it a few more times, just lengthening your breath, taking a slow, long breath in and release it slowly, allowing all the muscles to relax, to release, to loosen up. Letting this body to relax here. We will now bring our whole attention to our mind. This is a good time to guide our mind to come to a wholesome state. We will gradually guide our mind to become so wholesome, to experience one of the most wholesome states we can ever achieve. Loving kindness. It is a deeper capacity that we all have. This kindness allows us to connect with others. It allows ourselves to be healed. So it's a wholesome quality that will heal our own wounds, that will also bring so much relief and joy to others. We will now invite the deep capacity of our loving kindness to come to the surface. Loving kindness is the willingness for everyone to be well. It is goodwill towards all beings. Let us generate it right now. Open your heart and generate that willingness for everyone to be well. How good if all is fine. We will generate that willingness. We will give our permission for everyone to be fine, to be well. Let us open our heart Just like when we see a little baby smiling, a smiling little baby, smiling little baby looking at us. How do you feel? How open is your heart? Or just like when you are petting or cuddling a puppy or kitten, what kind of warmth we may have in our heart. Let us generate the same kind of openness, care, and warmth in our heart right now, generating this willingness to care. Let us now enhance or strengthen this loving kindness by repeating wishes of well-being. We will keep wishing well-being to everyone, directing this loving kindness to all beings. We will start with ourselves. We will direct this loving kindness, this openness, this wish of well-being to ourselves, to this living being sitting here. It is not selfish to wish oneself. We will simply consider ourselves as one of the living beings. Let us genuinely make a good wish to this being sitting here. May this person sitting here be well. Be safe. Be healthy. Be peaceful. Let us take this moment to radiate this loving kindness to our body. All the organs and systems of this body have been helping us a lot to live this precious life. With deep appreciation, let us radiate this loving kindness to each organ of this body, wishing each organ, each system to be healthy. May these lungs, which are helping us right now to breathe, feel the cooling sensations in your lungs when you breathe in. And genuinely wish, may these lungs and whole respiratory system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this heart, cardiac muscles, the whole cardiovascular system be well. Be healthy. Be healed. May this digesting system, all the organs in this digestive system, from stomach to liver, pancreas, intestine, colon, all are working for us even right now. May this whole digestive system be well, be healthy, be healed. May these kidneys, may both kidneys and whole genitourinary system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this nervous system, the central nervous system, spinal cord, brainstem, middle brain, frontal lobe, the whole nervous system be well, be healthy, be healed. Allow this loving kindness to travel throughout this body. May all the muscles, may all the bones and all the joints of this whole body be well, be healthy, be healed. Let's now expand this wish beyond ourselves to everyone else. We will make the same wish for all others. Let us wish for everyone sitting with us in this room right now. The person sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you. May all these people sitting in this room right now, may they all be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us expand this wish beyond this room to all people living in this surrounding area. Whoever the people living in this whole neighborhood, may all of them be well, be safe, be healthy, be healed. Let us expand this wish as wide as we can. Let's take a moment to think about all people living in faraway places. May all people living in all cities in this whole region, may all of them be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us keep pervading our loving kindness to every direction, wishing all people living in all this country and even beyond this country, in this whole continent, be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us expand our wish to include all people living throughout the world. May all people living in different parts of the world, people who are going through a lot of difficult times, fear, pain, may all of them, may they all be well, be well, be well, be peaceful. Let us expand this wish beyond human beings to all other living beings, all animals, from large ones to tiny ones. May all of them, may each and every living organism, without exception, be well, be well, be well, be peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. Rejoice, this loving kindness that embraces all beings with no limits whatsoever. Limitless love, unbound loving kindness. Rejoice, this wholesome state of the mind. With this rejoice, let us now gently bring our attention to our breath. In this peaceful, calm moment, you can feel the air moving through your nostrils. You can feel how it passes behind your throat and how you feel in the chest. You can feel this breath when the breath is coming out. Let us closely watch it. Let us deepen our peace by simply resting our mind on the breath. Continue to pay attention to the breath. This is the only thing happening right now. We will simply rest with the breath. Gently come out of the meditation. Gently put your palms together and place them against your chest. Let us take a moment to feel grateful for this opportunity to have peaceful meditation in our life. Deeply feel grateful for all great teachers, enlightened masters in the past, who passed this wisdom from generation to generation. Let us feel grateful to anyone who helped your meditation tonight, anyone who helped you to come here tonight. Let us feel grateful even to these non-living things which helped our meditation, including this chair, this bell, and this device that help us to connect to this meditation, and these machines that help us to stay cool. And with deep gratitude to all people and all things that made this meditation possible for us today. Let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So nice to have you all, and we wish you to carry this peace to the rest of the week, and may you maintain that goodness, that kindness, and always be kind whenever possible, and it is always possible. Okay. Thank you. See you next week.
Remember we went to Dolly Farm and they asked him,
Thank you for joining us. See you next week.
if you make one big wish, what would it be? And they're all like,